This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Friday, the 12th day of May in the year 2023. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting. Here's what we're tracking tonight. Shackled at his feet and dressed in a black and white shirt with blue jeans, 24-year-old West Rhineville resident Brian Richards was charged and remanded to jail today for the murder of well-known educator and actor Kerwin Mars, also known as Sir Mars. The accused stood quietly before Magistrate Sonal Scars at the Diamond Magistrates Court as the murder charge was read to him. He was not required to enter a plea to the indictable charge. The murder charge was filed against him under the direction of the Director of Public Prosecutions, following the police investigation into the gruesome crime. He has been remanded to jail until the 23rd of June, when the case will be called again for the submission of statements. The preliminary inquiry is expected to begin in August. The accused was arrested at his Regent Street workplace on Tuesday after investigators were able to identify him based on video recordings from CCTV cameras that captured him and the educator leaving a city bar less than an hour before the murder on Sunday night. The two men shared a close friendship. Investigators believe they were heading to the Mucka East Bank de Marara home of 51-year-old Sir Mars when they got into a fight in the educator's car. The educator was seen in the Perseverance community in a bloodied state, running to the back of his car after suddenly exiting it. One eyewitness reported that as Sir Mars made his way to the back of his vehicle, the vehicle reversed suddenly, pinning him underneath and against a concrete drain. The suspect was seen running from the car just after. The post-mortem examination revealed that Sir Mars died from crushing injuries in addition to multiple stab wounds. 8 stab wounds were discovered on his body. The death of the popular teacher and actor sent shockwaves throughout the education and theater community, with many of his colleagues and present and past students remembering him as someone who was committed to education and the arts. His family members said while they have forgiven the suspect, they still want justice.
I don't think I have words to express, but I want to, first of all, thank the Guyana Police Force. I think they did a magnificent job in dealing with this matter expeditiously and ensuring that the matter reached to the court. And so hats off to the Guyana Police Force, especially Inspector Henry, who kept us abreast with how the matter was going. And so my praise to the Guyana Police Force. We are still hurting. Everybody knows Sir Mars. He was very popular in education and in theater. He didn't deserve to die the way he died. Nevertheless, we have to bring closure. And I have said before, one way in bringing closure to this whole matter is that we have to forgive. And so my family has forgiven the young man, even though it's a destiny act. We have forgiven the young man so that we can move on with our lives. Whatever happens in the court, well, that's a matter for the law. We have no control over that. But for our side, we want to move on.
Sir Kerwin Mars spent most of his teaching years at the North Rhineville Multilateral School, but was promoted to the position of Deputy Principal at the New Central Georgetown School a few years ago. Both schools will host nights of wake for him, in addition to similar events being hosted by the Teachers Union and the Public Service Cooperative Credit Union. He will be laid to rest on Tuesday. More news coming up in a moment.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say. But now that it's here, it will change life forever. And it is here to stay. The future is now. Transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
Oh my lord. I just love to shop in this store. My customers, them gonna love all these things. So many different things in one place. Household items, electronics, toys, stationery, confectionery, exercise equipment, shoes and clothes for men, women, and children, school things, costume, jewelry, perfume, makeup. Oh, look, the makeup!
Giftland Office Max, Guyana's favorite department store.
Just so good, cheesy's the taste is just so good. Cheesy's are the one and only. So cheesy, crunchy, give me one please. Sunshine snacks, cheesy's, it's just so good. The whole crowd that's a cheesy, so cheesy, just so good. Yes, fella, can you feel me? Sunshine snacks, just so good. Number one taste, the whole place I say, just so good. Cheesy's the taste is just so good. Cheesy's are the one and only. So cheesy, crunchy, give me one please. Sunshine snacks, cheesy's, it's just so good. Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors, that my crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavors. Bust the flavors.
Strong and solid in countries far and wide. New India Assurance, we're standing by your side. Golden service, half a century and more. New India Assurance, our policies are secure. From the heart of India, we serve these islands. The strength that you can trust, you're safe when you come to New India Assurance Company. Assurance when you need it most.
For your home, motor or business insurance, visit New India Guyana office, 58 Brickdam next to Star Computers. Telephone 2260-415-7. Comfortable parking available.
The Ministry of Public Works today started the clearing of the entrance to New Providence roadway on the east bank of the Marara of roadside vendors. A number of unoccupied stalls and structures were dismantled and removed, while food caravans and other vending structures were also removed. The Ministry of Public Works One Edgel told news source that the vendors were served notice and complied today with the notice. He said the ministry assisted those who needed help to have their structures removed. Minister Edgel said the situation could not have been allowed to continue since it affected the safe flow of traffic.
Yes, I'd like to thank the vendors for complying with the notice that was served to them by removing themselves, and those who have requested assistance from the ministry for removing, that assistance was so provided. The intent is that we have to develop that area. We have to be able to get traffic flowing in and out safely and without hindrance. The intent, and sometime next week I'll be engaging the vendors again, they have been engaged before, is that a special area will be created where they can do tent vending, which means collapsible tents that should be removed at the end of the process of vending.
Over the past 3 years, the vending situation at the Providence entrance and closer to the Qualfund Company had grown out of control, with more than 50 stalls and caravans occupying the roadside. Roadside vending across the country has become a worrying problem, with many local councils being unable to control its growth. Vice President Barbara Jagdeo is assuring vendors in the city of Georgetown that street vending will be allowed to continue if the PPP wins a majority in the Georgetown City Council, although he has cautioned that there will be changes in the way things are done currently. Mr. Jagdeo's comments were made during a press conference on Thursday, days after the opposition leader Aubrey Norton warned vendors not to vote for the People's Progressive Party because they will not be allowed to ply their trade if the PP takes control of Georgetown. Jagdeo disagreed with that notion.
People have to, they will continue to vend there on the streets, but it has to be done under different conditions. You can't block people's entrance, store entrance, and two, the conditions there have to improve. The place have to be kept clear.
Last December, the mayor and city council and central government with the public works ministry clashed after the central government started to remove street vendors from outside the Georgetown Hospital. Mr. Jagdeo said vending must be done in an organized way.
And the vendors need to understand that they would be allowed to continue earning a living, an honest living, but your conditions have to improve for vending. That's our position. Always has been the position. We have never had an extreme, because we've been lobbied from both sides on control vending or shutting down vending totally by some store owners.
According to the vice president, the PP-led municipality will develop markets and vending areas that will be a benefit for both the vendors and persons visiting those areas.
The street vending here has to be done under better conditions. We need massive investments in our markets to improve the way not just the way our markets improve. We have to improve management generally, and that's being promised, but also the facilities. You go into markets, there are potholes, all sorts of things. There has to be major investments in the markets that we are promised. You can't give the money to this city council, town council here, because they will spend it on everything else except the markets and improving the conditions.
Local government elections are set to take place on the 12th of June.
What is local government? Local government is the system of locally elected members representing their communities and making decisions on their behalf. Local factors such as geography, the environment, economic opportunities, and health can be better taken account of by local governments charged with making decisions that affect their communities. These decisions can relate to the effective and efficient provision of services to meet community needs, to the regulation of certain functions, to facilitation of local activities, and to pursue community goals. In making these decisions, councils have to report to their communities in a clear and accountable way. Local authorities cannot achieve their objectives alone. They work closely with central government and with other organizations, public bodies, businesses, and citizens. Once elected, local governments are empowered to serve the people who live within the municipality or neighborhood democratic council and constituencies to which they were elected. Monday, June 12, 2023 is Local Government Elections Day. For further information, contact GCOM or visit the GCOM website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Purple Arts Productions presents a treat for My Mother's 6 on Mother's Day, Sunday, May 14th at the National Cultural Center. Beverly Smith, Mosa Telford, Leona Walton, Paul Budna, Nikhil Sankar, and others. Compliments of Hello City, Munishwars, Elsie Pasad Muraj and Sons, Sunflower Jewelry, Kissun's Furniture Store, Survivor Shopping Complex, NDNS Furniture Store, 8 p.m. sharp. Tickets $25 and $2,000. Directed by Simone Dowling.
Well, the British High Commissioner to Guyana, Jane Miller, has indicated that the United Kingdom remains committed to upholding human rights and supporting the development of a free and democratic society in Guyana, including an independent press. Speaking at a special reception to celebrate the coronation of King Charles III, the British High Commissioner said the UK and Guyana have committed to democracy, the rule of law, and human rights. She told the gathering that the UK will continue to actively support civil society organizations, the media, and human rights defenders to help ensure the rights of all Guyanese are respected and protected. Singling out the media, High Commissioner Miller said it is important for the Fourth Estate to remain strong and independent.
Our commitment for strong and independent democratic institutions remains steadfast. Having just commemorated World Press Freedom Day, I'm just delighted that media have made it through the waters to be here this evening, so thank you so much for being here. We recognise the importance of media freedom as a fundamental right that plays a vital role in transparency and accountability in any vibrant economy.
The High Commissioner also reaffirmed the UK's unwavering support and commitment to the LGBTQ community and urged that the country's laws be updated to protect the rights of the LGBTQ community.
It is our sincere belief that every individual deserves to be treated with dignity and respect and equality, regardless of who they choose to love, whether their sexual orientation or their gender identity. Now, I acknowledge that many of Guyana's laws pertaining to the rights of LGBT are inherited from the UK. But it's worth noting that the UK has changed and our laws have been updated to ensure the protection and inclusion of LGBT individuals, and I urge Guyana to do the same.
Across the world, 67 countries, including Guyana, have laws criminalizing consensual same-sex intimacy, with 11 instituting the death penalty for violation of such laws. In August of 2021, the National Assembly decriminalized cross-dressing, in keeping with the ruling handed down by the Caribbean Court of Justice. But while the legislative change has been welcomed by supporters, the Society Against Sexual Orientation Discrimination said steps must be taken to decriminalize same-sex intimacy. The British High Commissioner to Guyana, Jane Miller, has indicated that the UK's interest in Guyana is at an all-time high, with trade in goods and services between the two countries amounting to more than £1.2 billion so far for this year.
The British interest is huge in this country. I'd say it's an all-time high at the moment. We continue to advocate and support countries that will bring to the country efficiency, transparency, quality and innovation, and those that want long-term relationship with Guyana's development.
The British High Commissioner was speaking last evening at a reception to honour the coronation of King Charles. The £1.2 billion in trade and investment represents an increase of £814 million when compared to 2021. Total UK exports to Guyana amounted to £494 million in 2022, while total UK imports from Guyana amounted to £713 million. The High Commissioner was keen on pointing out that the £1.2 billion represents almost 25% of all trade in the UK and the Caribbean, making Guyana the UK's largest trading partner in the Caribbean. Last year, UK's Trade Commissioner for Latin America and the Caribbean, Jonathan Knott, led a high-level trade mission to Guyana. That visit resulted in the signing of a partnership agreement for the British High Commission to work in conjunction with the government and the private sector to deliver faster and fairer and green economic growth for the country. High Commissioner Miller said already a number of partnerships have been formed, with more trade missions expected this year.
More than half of all the companies that come here have developed a partnership agreement with a local company, have started exporting their goods, or have established a presence here in Guyana. That's nearly a half of all those businesses. The interest in Guyana is not only because of the opportunities, but also the confidence in the business environment and the small but affluent business community here.
The High Commissioner also said the establishment of the British Chamber of Commerce, the return of British Airways, and visa-free travel are among transformative steps in strengthening the relations between Guyana and the UK.
And in the climate space, the UK remains committed to supporting countries and initiatives that address challenges posed by climate change. And one notable example here in Guyana is our contribution of £52 million to the road between Linden and Burra Hills, 121 kilometres of road, in partnership with the Caribbean Development Bank and the Government of Guyana.
High Commissioner Miller said it is because of countries like Guyana that the UK is very proud to have supported the £500 million Blue Planet funds. Already £36 billion have been secured from within that fund specifically for small island developing states. The Guyana Public Service Union has issued a call on the government to take immediate steps to improve the lives of the country's nurses. As International Nurses Day was observed today, the GPSU noted the salary adjustments for healthcare workers last year by the government, but said that the lives of nurses are not much better. According to the union, the salaries of nurses should be improved by at least 75%. The union also said there is a need for the debunching of the professionals to provide for clear distinction of seniority, together with their institution of annual merit increments. The union said that would enable the professionals to manage themselves and their households financially, while reclaiming their lost dignity within society that was removed over the years. The Public Service Union says its demands are attainable and should be supplemented by a suitable tax-free allowance that offsets any increased taxation the salary increases may attract. The union said in order to alleviate tiredness during shifts and decrease possibilities of malpractice, a recommendation was made for shorter hours of work to be contemplated, considered, and implemented for nurses. In addition, the union also called for the nurses on night shifts to be paid night premium rates equivalent to time and 1/4 of the hours worked. It also wants transportation to be provided for nurses who are required to go to work or come off from duty during the late night hours. The union said in general, hospitals, healthcare centers, and clinics should be refitted to make them more worker-friendly, and there should also be adequate furnishing, restrooms, lunchrooms, and washrooms for nurses on duty. The GPSU said it also believes that accommodation for nurses in all administrative regions needs either to be established or upgraded, maintained, and properly furnished to meet the continuous needs of nursing personnel.
Why you must vote at local government elections. Local government officials make decisions every day that affect the well-being of your life, the lives of your family and community. By voting for a voluntary group, political party or individual candidate of your choice, you will be electing the people who will make these very important decisions. If you don't vote, then you allow other people who do vote to choose local government officials without your input. Those others may not share your views about issues that matter to you. Voting also provides you with an opportunity to remind the elected government officials that they are accountable to you. Every eligible citizen has the right and responsibility to vote at local government elections. Monday, June 12, 2023 is Local Government Elections Day. For further information, contact GCOM on 225-0277-9, 226-6557, 223-9650, or visit the GCOM website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor of the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Look who's in the mix now. The new Buster Soda Water. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 artificial flavors. 100% refreshing. Taste Buster Soda Water today. Buster Soda Water. Now available for only $120.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guyana Guy Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive!
Across the region tonight, more than 115,000 children in Haiti are expected to suffer severe malnutrition this year. That's according to the United Nations Children Agency, UNICEF. UNICEF said its escalation of armed violence is to be blamed for the situation. The number is more than 30% higher than the 87,500 children UNICEF registered as suffering from the condition last year. UNICEF has warned of a severe funding gap that could put the lives of more than 100,000 children at risk of immediate death in Haiti. Heavily armed gangs have taken control of large swaths of the Caribbean island nation, with much of the violence centered in the capital of Port-au-Prince, where the UN estimates more than 600 people were killed in April alone. UNICEF released its study days after the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights renewed calls for an international force to support Haiti's fight against armed gangs. Antigua and Barbuda has not given up on its plans to drop the British monarch as its head of state. The government's position on becoming a republic was communicated yesterday following Prime Minister Gaston Brown's return to Antigua and Barbuda after attending the coronation of King Charles in London. The issue of becoming a republic was discussed at Cabinet on Wednesday. A statement from the Cabinet said despite their participation, the head of government reiterated his administration's determination to bring about a republic form of government in Antigua and Barbuda, rather than continue to be under the British monarchy. Yesterday, the Chief of Staff of the Prime Minister's office said a referendum will be held sometime in the future, but he could not give a time frame. King Charles III is the head of state of Antigua and Barbuda and 14 independent states, which are referred to as Commonwealth realms. And finally tonight, international news. South Africa is formally protesting to the US ambassador over his allegations that it has sold arms to Russia. The US ambassador alleged that a Russian ship was loaded with ammunition and weapons in Cape Town last December. South Africa has said it has no record of an approved arms sale, and the president of South Africa has ordered an inquiry. A cabinet minister has subsequently hit out at such diplomacy, saying South Africa could not be bullied by the US. The official said it is the US which has sanctions against Russia, and they must not drag South Africa into their issues with Russia. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight and this week. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.